Hi, we want you to come to Bonanza, so here's what we're going to do.
People come to Ponderosa Steakhouse because it's such a good deal. They come because the steaks are great.
Have you ever wondered about some cool restaurants of the past that aren't around anymore? In this video, we'll explore some awesome restaurants in the 1970s that have either closed down completely or had to scale down their operations. These places were once very popular, but faced tough competition from big fast food chains, so they had to lose their share in the market. Join us as we look at 20 fancy restaurants in the 1970s that no longer exist. Number 1. Bonanza Steakhouse. In the 1970s, Bonanza Steakhouse was the place to be if you were yearning for a succulent steak dinner.
Bonanza gives you more of what you love.
For all those who like getting a little extra without paying a little extra, we invite you to Bonanza Family Restaurant.
This era revered steaks as a culinary staple, and Bonanza was at the heart of America's love affair with this delectable dish. In 1963, the steakhouse was created by Dan Blocker. Blocker played the famous character Eric Hoss Cartwright in the television show Bonanza. He decided to create a restaurant where people could enjoy the juicy steaks. From the sizzling T-bone to tender fillets, Bonanza had something for everyone. They also offered various sides, such as crispy fries and mashed potatoes. Their salad bar used to be piled high with fresh veggies and tasty dressings. The people loved dining at Bonanza Steakhouse and gathered there for special occasions. In 2008, Bonanza Steakhouse faced a financial crisis. The restaurant went bankrupt and had to close over 100 locations all at once. As of 2023, only 3 Bonanza locations are remaining in the U.S. Number 2. Ponderosa Steakhouse. Back in the 70s, when everyone was rocking bell-bottoms, disco was the thing, and Ponderosa was where you'd go for the steak dinner. It was founded in 1965 by a group of steak-loving businessmen. Dan Laster, Norm Weiss, and Charles Kleps founded Ponderosa in Kokomo, Indiana. They later moved the headquarters to Dayton, Ohio in 1971. Families, friends, and couples alike gathered here for affordable meals. Walking into Ponderosa Steakhouse was like being hit with the amazing smell of sizzling steaks. They would serve you juicy ribeyes and yummy T-bones, leaving a finger-licking taste in your mouth. Ponderosa had a steak for every craving. They had a famous all-you-could-eat buffet filled with sides like mashed potatoes, buttery corn, and crisp salads. The people were always satisfied with the quality. In 1989, Ponderosa boasted more than 700 locations, marking its peak popularity. However, by 2023, the landscape had shifted dramatically, with only 400 restaurants remaining operational, primarily due to a challenging economic environment and changing consumer preferences. The situation escalated in 2008 when the company underwent a Chapter 7 liquidation process, leading to the closure of over 300 establishments. Fast forward to the end of 2023, and the once thriving chain had dwindled to just 13 locations, continuing to grapple with financial challenges. This decline reflects the volatile nature of the restaurant industry and the importance of adapting to evolving market dynamics. Next, we will experience the Hollywood glamour-style restaurant, the Brown Derby, which would put you right through the Hollywood nostalgia of the 70s. Number 3. The Brown Derby. The Brown Derby was a famous spot that defined Hollywood dining. This restaurant had a unique architecture of a golden brown building shaped like a derby hat. It was a very distinctive design that would catch motorist eyes. It was opened in 1926 by Wilson Misner. The Brown Derby quickly became a dining lounge for movie stars, directors, and industry insiders. The restaurant served classic American dishes with a touch of old Hollywood style. Its menu had many cultural dishes like juicy steaks and tender seafood. They also had Cobb salads filled with fresh ingredients. But like many big restaurants, the Brown Derby faced challenges as time passed. Ownership of this restaurant kept on changing over the years, and eventually, the original Brown Derby restaurant was closed without warning in the 1980s, and the building was demolished and turned into a shopping center. But the derby hat-shaped dome remains there. Next, we will discuss the restaurant that was a must-have for Americans on their road trips. Easily spotted by the sides of the road, Howard Johnson's was a place for all. Number 4. Howard Johnson's Restaurant. It was founded in 1925 by Howard Deering Johnson. This iconic place quickly became popular among Americans. It's known for its bright orange roofs and is a must-have on road trips. Howard Johnson's restaurants were spread all over the highways. They offered tired travelers a cozy place to rest. The menu was a mixture of comfort food. Their versatile menu had juicy burgers, crispy fried chicken, creamy milkshakes, and ice cream sundaes. It was the ultimate stop for travelers far from home. This restaurant chain became one of the largest in the U.S. in the 1960s to 70s when it turned into hotels known as Howard Johnson's Motor Lodges. Howard Johnson's faced tough competition from fast food chains and the changing preferences of people. The highways also led to a decline in roadside dining. This caused many Howard Johnson's restaurants to close their doors forever. While its popularity may be a thing of the past, it's still remembered fondly by the travelers of the 70s. For our next indulgence, let's hop aboard a place that looks straight out of a vintage postcard. We're talking about Victoria Station. Number 5. Victoria Station. It was founded in 1969 by Dick Bradley, Peter Lee, and Bob Freeman. This restaurant was inspired by the love of train travel and had actual train cars as dining rooms. Now talk about dining in style. The restaurant/train offered juicy steaks, seafood platters, and burgers. They also had a salad bar, the favorite of every salad lover. What made Victoria Station different from other restaurants was its ambiance. The idea behind this restaurant's ambiance was unique, which quickly made it everyone's favorite. People enjoyed the vintage train cars converted into cozy dining rooms. The soft booths and dim lighting set the mood just right. It was like stepping back in time to the golden age of rail travel without all the noise of it. This restaurant chain peaked in the 1970s, with 100 locations opening in the U.S. It was loved by the baby boomer generation, and the aesthetics of this place would have been a hit among today's children. However, like all good things, Victoria Station vanished in 1992 in the U.S. The economic challenges and financial constraints forced the closing of this beautiful restaurant. Number 6. Steak and Ale. This steakhouse chain stole the hearts and appetites of Americans. Steak and Ale was created in 1966 by Norman Breaker. He wanted to create a restaurant where people could relax, all while enjoying the delicious steaks without spending too much money on it. So he came up with a restaurant called Steak and Ale. Steak and Ale was all about the home-style cooking of the meals. This place offered thick, juicy steaks with buttery baked potatoes and crisp, fresh salads. The place had a famous salad wagon, a roaming cart with many salad fixings and dressings. The diners could customize their salads however they liked them. Steak and Ale was famous for its affordability and delicious food. It was preferred by people as a dine-in place for special occasions. Steak and Ale eventually faded into the dining history despite its delicious offerings as they went bankrupt in 2008. Next on the list, we have Trader Vic's, the house of newly invented drinks. Number 7. Trader Vic's. It was created in 1934 by Victor Jules Bergeron Jr., a.k.a. Trader Vic. He opened this cozy little joint in California. You were immediately transported to a world of flavors, colors, and island vibes when you walked in. The menu was a mix of Polynesian dishes. It offered tender ribs covered in tangy barbecue sauce and cocktails served in tiki mugs, among many other things. They had a unique drink called Mai Tai on the menu. Trader Vic invented this drink himself. The restaurant became a go-to spot for celebrities, social figures, and people seeking an escape from the daily routine. Trader Vic's quickly became a fixture of American dining culture because of its delicious food, cocktails, and ambiance. As the tiki craze of the 50s and 60s faded into memory, taste shifted. The chain began to shrink in the 80s and 90s because the younger generation couldn't resonate with the restaurant's style and theme. As of 2024, only 3 U.S. Trader Vic's restaurants are running. For our next popular restaurant of its time, we have Le Peep, where the fragrance of brewed coffee danced with a promise of a savory breakfast. Number 8. Le Peep. Le Peep was a breakfast and brunch spot established in 1988 by Bill Eckrich, Kathleen Eckrich late husband. They opened a little restaurant where people could enjoy breakfast in a welcoming setting. Le Peep immediately became famous among the people. Its delicious menu of breakfast classics was loved by all, from omelets and pancakes to crepes and delicious joys. The menu had something for everyone to enjoy. The bottomless cups of freshly brewed coffee kept diners coming back for more. The place was famous for its unmatched hospitality. Le Peep continued to expand its reach nationwide and win over new generations of breakfast lovers with many flagship stores. After 34 successful years, Le Peep encountered significant challenges due to public health regulations. Despite these obstacles, the brand remains active, with affiliated locations continuing to open across the U.S. However, it's important to note that the original Le Peep establishment has ceased operations and, over time, has seen a decline in its once prominent popularity. This transition underscores the impact of regulatory compliance on long-standing businesses and the dynamic nature of the restaurant industry. Next up, we have the Magic Pan. It was like stepping into a cozy little spot filled with the smell of freshly made crepes spreading in the air. Number 9. The Magic Pan. The Magic Pan was founded by Hungarian immigrants Laszlo and Paulette Fono in the 1960s. The Magic Pan first opened in San Francisco, California, and quickly gained popularity for its special take on crepes. Their menu had a wide range of delicious crepes. They offered chicken divan and spinach mushroom souffle crepes, classic favors like crepe Suzette, and strawberries with sour cream. A motorized conveyor heated the metal pans, and an attendant dipped them in crepe batter, and the powerful aroma filled the air as the thin crepes sizzled. The Magic Pan's unique automated system for making crepes added to its beauty. The Magic Pan expanded its branches all over the country. However, in 1970, the Quaker Oats Company acquired Magic Pan from the Fonos, making it their primary restaurant chain. In 2005, Let Us Entertain You Enterprises brought the Magic Pan name back as a fast food crepe stand in Northbrook, Illinois. This new version pays homage to the original by using recreated recipes, although it doesn't have the crepe-making machine that was a hallmark of the original chain. Next, we have the Velvet Turtle, a cozy haven for the people in the 70s. Number 10. The Velvet Turtle. The Velvet Turtle was a fashionable restaurant founded by David Taliche in 1961. He wanted to create a dining experience that was comfortable and enjoyable. The Velvet Turtle specializes in classic American dishes. Its menu range from soft prime rib and tender filet mignon to cultural seafood dishes and sweet desserts. Every item on the menu was made with care and attention to detail. The Velvet Turtle had great popularity among the people. Its reputation for unmatched food and good service made it a favorite destination. However, the ownership of this restaurant chain was changed in '86 and eventually closed down in the 90s. Let's explore an old dine-in place known as the Red Coach Inn. Number 11. The Red Coach Inn. The Red Coach Inn was like stepping into an old-fashioned red brick inn in the corner of town. The restaurant was founded in 1923 by William Sholikoff and Charles Peabody. The moment you walked through the door, you were greeted by the warm glow of candles and the delicious smell of home-cooked meals. The Red Coach Inn made classic American comfort food. It served steaks, pot roast, mashed potatoes, and many other things. The place offered special desserts like cultural chocolate cakes and freshly baked fruit pies. During its prime, the Red Coach Inn was a beloved destination, cherished by locals and tourists for its exceptional services and culinary offerings. It was an ideal venue for celebrating special occasions, renowned for its inviting ambiance and quality fare. However, in the face of evolving trends and shifting consumer preferences, the Red Coach Inn has experienced a decline in popularity across the United States. Despite these challenges, the establishment remains operational, steadfast in its commitment to serving its patrons and continuing its legacy of hospitality. Number 12. York Steakhouse. York Steakhouse was a cozy restaurant where the scent of sizzling steaks filled the air. York Steakhouse was a well-liked eatery founded in 1966 by Eddie Grayson and Bernie Gross. York Steakhouse was known for its delicious steaks. The menu had something for everyone: juicy sirloin, tender filet mignon, or a hearty hamburger. The restaurant had creamy mashed potatoes and buttery dinner rolls that were famous among people. For many years, York Steakhouse remained very popular. Families, friends, and couples came here for a good time on an affordable budget. By the 1980s, the popularity of this restaurant waned, and eventually, it was shut down in many locations by 1989. Next on our list is the Ground Round, a place that once served good food and good times for families and friends across America. Number 13, the Ground Round. The smell of freshly popped popcorn filled the air. The place was filled with cozy booths and chairs by the bar. It was founded in 1969 by Howard Johnson's. The Ground Round was differentiated from other places because of its menu. The menu was filled with many dishes, from juicy burgers to crispy chicken tenders and appetizers. The restaurant offered a free treat, bottomless popcorn, that kept diners returning for more. With its affordable prices, friendly service, and a relaxed vibe, it quickly became a go-to spot for casual dining. But like many other fast food chains at that time, the Ground Round also saw its decline in the U.S. In 2004, the Ground Round franchise filed for bankruptcy, and almost half of the restaurants abruptly closed. Only 2 to 3 locations are operational now because they never fully recovered from financial crises. For our next favorite food place, let's look into the world of hula hands. Number 14, hula hands. Hula Hands was founded on April 1st in 1972 in Kansas City's Country Club Plaza by Paul Robinson and Joe Gilbert. The two restaurateurs were passionate about creating inviting spaces where people could relax and enjoy great food. The place offered a mix of classic American dishes with a modern twist. The menu was filled with many dishes, from steaks and burgers to fresh salads and flavorful pasta dishes. The place served signature cocktails and beers, making it a place of celebration for friends and families. Hula Hands' popularity increased as the restaurant kept opening in multiple locations across the U.S. However, with time, 60% of the restaurant chain was franchised, and the original Hula Hands closed in November of 2002. Number 15, Beefsteak Charlie's. Charlie's was founded in 1976 by Larry Ellman, a visionary who wanted to create a dining experience like no other. The Beefsteak Charlie's menu covered many dishes, from tender steaks, juicy burgers, delicious seafood, and fresh salads. The most famous dish of Beefsteak Charlie's was its salad bar. It was like a paradise for salad lovers. It quickly became the nation's favorite. The restaurant signed a merger with Bombay Palace Restaurants and lost its identity over time. In 1992, only 2 chains remained available. One restaurant was closed while the other was changed into Joe Franklin's. The original restaurants remain closed now. What is a name that brings back memories of delicious comfort food? The answer? Rack's Roast Beef. Number 16, Rack's Roast Beef. Rack's Roast Beef quickly became a popular name in Ohio. It was the invention of Jack Roshman in 1967. He wanted to offer hungry diners a taste of delicious roast beef sandwiches like they'd never experienced before. At Rack's, the main course was the roast beef. The roast beef was thinly sliced and cooked on medium heat. It was then piled on soft buns and served with various toppings and sauces. However, the restaurant didn't only offer the roast. They also offered a range of other tasty options, including fried chicken, savory sides, and desserts. The place was popular with Americans. They embraced it for its affordable prices, great portions, and good service. In 1969, Roshman sold the food chain to General Foods. The name was later changed to Rick's Roast Beef. The restaurant was then run by General Foods till 1972. It had to scale down after facing bankruptcy in 1996. Subsequent to a series of ownership transitions, the restaurant struggled to regain its former standing and recuperate from past financial setbacks. As of March 2024, a modest count of 6 locations continues to operate, serving as a testament to the brand's resilience. Unfortunately, the remaining establishments have ceased operations, marking a significant contraction of the restaurant's once widespread presence. We have Sambo's, a go-to breakfast place in the 1970s. Number 17, Sambo's. Sambo's was founded in 1957 by Sam Battistone Sr. and Newell Bonnet. The restaurant's name was derived from a combination of the founders' names, Sam and Bo. It also drew controversy due to the name's resemblance to the character Little Black Sambo from a children's book. It gained quick popularity across the United States and was known for serving breakfast all day. Sambo's was widely known for its extensive menu. The menu summed up everything that would come to mind, starting with the breakfast classics, including pancakes, crispy bacon, omelets, and piping hot coffee. Sambo's offered great quantities and all prices were reasonable. During its peak, Sambo's had over 1,100 locations nationwide. In the 1980s, the chain faced financial difficulties and began to scale down its operations. Several factors, including changing consumer preferences and increased competition, contributed to the decline of Sambo's. Ultimately, the remaining Sambo locations were rebranded or closed. Next on the list is a famous Mexican food restaurant, Chi-Chi's. Number 18. Chi-Chi's. Chi-Chi's was the most liked Mexican restaurant of its era. It was founded in 1975 by Marno McDermott in Minneapolis, Minnesota. It quickly became a favorite for all those seeking Mexican food and a good atmosphere. McDermott was inspired to create a Mexican food place from his travels to Mexico. He brought Mexican taste back to the American food culture during his visit. Chi-Chi's menu featured many Mexican delights including fajitas, enchiladas, tacos, and chimichangas. Each dish was made with fresh ingredients and bold spices. It captured the essence of traditional Mexican cuisine. Chi-Chi's was famous for its festive decor, music, and margaritas. During its peak era, Chi-Chi's had over 200 locations nationwide. In the early 2000s, the chain faced several challenges such as financial difficulties and a decline in sales. Chi-Chi's faced a major setback in 2003 when an outbreak of hepatitis A was linked to tainted green onions served at one of its locations. This incident led to the deaths of several customers and widespread illness. It was a blow to the restaurant's reputation and the business declined. In the following years, Chi-Chi's struggled to recover. The restaurant went into bankruptcy in 2004 and closed its remaining locations. Everyone remembers the popular slogan, "Everybody goes to Gino's" by Gino Marchetti. So we'll discuss the once popular Gino's Hamburgers for our next restaurant. Number 19. Gino's Hamburgers. Gino's Hamburgers was a classic American fast food chain. It was founded by Baltimore Colts football legend Gino Marchetti and his business partner Louis Fisher in 1957. Gino's Hamburgers was a cultural icon. The menu was simple yet delicious. It focused on hamburgers, fries, and milkshakes. Gino's signature Gino Giant Burger was a tower burger with 2 beef patties, cheese, lettuce, tomato, and Gino's special sauce sandwiched between a sesame seed bun. Gino expanded rapidly through the 1960s and 70s. However, as the fast food landscape evolved, larger chains like McDonald's and Burger King began to dominate the market. Gino's faced tough competition. In the late 1980s, the company was bought by Marriott Corporation, and this eventually phased out Gino's brand. Last but not least on our list, we have Sandy's. Number 20. Sandy's. It was founded in 1958 by 4 businessmen, Gus Apostol, Bob Warren, Harry Barber, and Paul White. With its burgers, fries, and shakes, Sandy's quickly became popular. It presented classic American food, filling everyone's bellies with affordable prices. The menu included cultural foods like hamburgers, cheeseburgers, hot dogs, french fries, onion rings, and ice-cold sodas. Sandy's was the perfect spot for casual lunches and dinners. Sandy's experienced rapid growth in the 1960s and 70s, and the restaurant made its franchises in the Midwest and beyond. After the evolution of the food landscape, larger chains like McDonald's and Burger King gained prominence, whereas Sandy's struggled to compete. In the 60s, Sandy's was still popular, but it struggled to run its operations due to financial shortages. Meanwhile, Hardee's was looking to expand its operation, and eventually 90% of Sandy's restaurants merged with Hardee's, with only 10% remaining with the identity of Sandy's. Over time, the rest of Sandy's locations also converted, and by 2007, the last remaining branch of Sandy's also shut down its operations. That's how Sandy's met its tragic decline.